Hey guys, my name is Nate and this is my brother Steven. Together we are Wingman Merch.
Thanks for checking out our video. We put these up about a month after we shoot them. If you'd like to catch any of these videos live, check out our Facebook page. The link is in the description.
All right, everybody, thank you for being here. Now that we're almost at 20 people, whoop, whoop. Thank you guys for joining us again for another Merch Monday call. Hopefully you guys had a good week last week and had a relaxing weekend. I know Steven did not, but hopefully you guys did. I don't even know where to start this week. So as we were saying, we've got a ton going on outside of merch the next 2 weeks, I guess. I guess it's still technically merch related, but we're doing Joy's event in Dallas, Houston, Texas on the 27th. Oh gosh, my brain is so mush.
This is not looking good.
On the 27th.
I'm glad I put the third on there so we could just bury this one like
it. So we're prepping for that. There's a lot of cool speakers there that we're excited to meet. All the people coming, we're super excited to meet. Just trying to get a bunch of ideas together of how we can get more people to take action with merch. That's kind of what we're speaking on. We know a lot of you cannot come to the Texas event for one reason or another. Mostly, well, I don't know about mostly, but we didn't give you guys a huge heads up, which is something that we're kind of being known for now. And to continue on that theme, we're going to be teaching a class tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's going to be a really small class of just 10 people at $10. But we just wanted to teach the same exact thing that we're going to teach in Texas for a group of you guys tonight. We think what we're teaching is really powerful.
Tomorrow night.
Sorry, Tuesday night. Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What we're teaching is really powerful, and we do think it's going to make people take action and see the power of merch. There's a lot that you can do inside of merch, but there's also a lot that you can do outside of merch. And our kind of tagline is how to leverage your merch account. We've been able to build a lot of really cool relationships and do a lot of really cool things just because now that we're kind of the merch guys, even though we do other stuff besides that, it's really helped our businesses out. And we always say it's kind of just a tool in our toolbox. Merch is just a tool in our toolbox of everything that we can do. A lot of cool strategies on how to reach out to influencers and people that can use merch, see the value in it and how you can bring that value to them. So we will be testing that out Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be 10 people at $10. I'll post the link in chat now. You have to buy it through Gumroad. We've already had, I think, 4 people sign up, so there's 6 seats left. So definitely don't sleep on that. We sent it out.
Okay. Touch on how those other people got in earlier.
Yeah, so we sent it out in the chat bot first, just to say thank you to people for signing up for the chat bot. So if you guys want deals early on classes that we're going to teach, the over-the-shoulder stuff might be launched in there early, but definitely sales on art as well. When I have mental space to deal with more art, I'm going to be doing 50% off on art for 24 hours and things like that. So definitely click that chat bot, get part of that group, because it's just a more efficient way of us communicating to you guys. And it doesn't really spam up the group as much, which works out. You mean in Messenger? Yeah, it's in Messenger. We call it a chat bot because it's not me sending out every message. It is a program that I have. But yes, it is in Messenger. I will also post the link for that if Steven can talk for 3 minutes so I can type this out and make a post. You can talk about the Texas event or whatever.
Yes. I want to talk more about the class because we're being more known as the merch guys for the reason of partnering and relationship building, because that's kind of thing that we want to show everybody that they can do. And it really took our business to the next level. I think everybody in here knows that me and Nathaniel work together I do one part of the business, he does the other part of the business, but it's super overwhelming when you work by yourself and you're just in a room like this and it gets boring and you get frustrated and you feel like banging your head against stuff. It's so amazing to just be able to talk to another person. We were kind of calling on the phone, but then after we did video chat, it was like, oh, that's so much better because you get to see the person's face. It feels like it's a little more personal when you get to see them. So even when I was gone for the 2 weeks, last 2 weeks, and Nathaniel had to like carry the ball and everything, both of us were extremely stressed out. So as soon as I came back, we always have too much to do, but we had to go through everything that we were going through. And it was like, as soon as we had that conversation, we both felt like that weight come off our shoulders to go like, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful that I can express all this to you. So having those partnerships, having those relationships, I think is hopefully what we can bring to the community, because I feel like we know a lot of aspects of the business, but there are other people that I feel are not better than us at those things. But I don't see anybody else really partnering and using relationships that we use them. And I think it's partially because I have a real estate investor background, and Nathaniel's super friendly anyway because he was always on a ton of sports teams. But I think in real estate, like networking is the true only thing that's going to make your success. There's nothing you can do like online or behind a computer or kind of by yourself in real estate that's going to make you profit. You have to go out and talk to sellers. You have to make connections with buyers. You have to find money. You have to find properties. Like there's so many things that you have to do, and the only way you can do those is through connections. And I think that's kind of why our business is really starting to flourish, is because I'm taking that same mindset from that and trying to apply it to merch. So that's why I'm excited for this presentation, because this is the first time we're going to be able to present it the way that the idea that we had a while ago. And we kind of felt like that's what this group is going to be, but then as soon as we started doing it, we realized, oh, we got to back up before we start going too far. And now it starts to feel like we're kind of cresping that hill. We want to talk about split testing. There's a few more things that we're going to be touching on before we start going too crazy into the partnerships, but that's kind of what we think we're going to be going into. Partially why we're doing the Friday call as the group. Oh, we didn't really talk about that yet.
Not yet. We'll get there.
All right, we'll get back to that. I apologize. But part of the reason why we're going to be doing certain things in this group is to kind of push us forward into more relationship building and community building within our group, if that makes sense. It almost feels like I'm cheating everybody when we haven't talked about what it is that I'm trying to talk about.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in a second. But like Steven said, we're excited to teach that class and move this group in that direction, where you see that as a much more enjoyable, I guess, way, and just the way our minds work. Like it's much easier for us to, again, leverage our merch accounts than it is to just keep hammering away at doing these uploads and looking for organic traffic and trends and all that stuff. We got burnt out on that. And we kind of see that coming for a lot of people when they get to certain tiers. So just having another way to use your merch business, once you feel you understand all the basics, which we'll hopefully have covered. We feel about like 80% now. Like there's probably another 20% that we really need to clear up. Even the way that we like say certain things like split testing. So we're going to try and do that into the next month, and then May, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can start talking more about like the partnering side of things and leveraging your account to do different cool stuff.
Yeah, we have a lot of cool ideas that we're hoping to implement. But I just want to go right back to the partnering, because AJ, my cousin, that's whose house I'm at right now, he's like a super introvert. But even in talking to him, I realized like me and him work extremely well together, because I think I'm the opposite of that. I don't mind going out and talking to people and making the connections and then doing all that stuff, but he hates it. So even if you're at home and you do a merch business because you're an introvert and because you don't have to deal with that, partnering up with somebody that likes to go out and make those connections is a great partnership. So I just want to touch on that, because I know talking to other merch people, they kind of like working or having online businesses because they are introverted. And I think Jim kind of touches on that too. But even him, like he's going up and speaking in front of people, he understands the power of partnerships and relationships.
I love this group so much. I love Action Takers so much. Our class just sold out. The last 6 seats is sold out, yeah.
That's
So sorry if you guys came late and missed it, but thank you so much to all the action takers
Another
here.
reason why I'm so happy that we're moving in this direction, because I don't think I explained anything to this group why I was disappearing, but I had just a lot of problems, personal problems, and mm, I don't really want to touch on all that. Just personal problems that I had through a lot of things. I had to go to Michigan. I kind of just like dropped off the map for a minute. So I was so happy that Nathaniel was able to carry the ball. Another reason why you need to partner, because if stuff happens like that, life happens. We understand stuff gets hard, and sometimes you gotta take a break. But we want to keep pushing people forward. If you have a problem, like we keep saying, put it in the group. We don't want people complaining necessarily, but if stuff gets hard, put that stuff in the group. That's why we're here. That's why when I go through stuff like this, and then I have people messaging me saying, "Hey, are you okay?" and that it just lights another fire up under me to get back to work and do things. So I know how valuable that is. I want to give that to more people because believe me, I understand life is hard. Stuff is extremely difficult, but you need people around you that are going to bolster you up. I can't thank my brother enough. Thank you. Even on the call with Joy, I was gonna say, oh, I used to think I was Batman and he was Robin, but then as of recently, like he's now Batman. I understand that I'm Robin in certain positions. But she kind of cut me off, so I was like, "Woo, all right, that's that, but that didn't go into the world."
Yeah, no, you're definitely still the older brother. You hold a lot of weight.
I was just
Um,
so impressed at how you carried everything. But I understood how stressful it was and how stressful it was for me, and I appreciated you not like bothering me. But then, like as soon as we had that call, it feels like forever ago, but it was what, Thursday? Really
yeah.
not long ago. And then just like expressing everything, and then like, okay, this is all the things that we were trying to do and got pushed back 2 weeks is like even more stress. So we had to really like tighten the stuff up and dropping a lot of things because now I'm not going to be doing private label as much, but now the people that reached out to me, I'm going to be partnering with them. So it takes a lot more stress off my plate. So just stuff like this happens and then you have to just restructure. I thought I was just restructuring a part of my business. Now I'm like restructuring the whole my life. Now it's like, okay, I got to change up a lot of things because I was spinning way too many plates. I was doing like all the week's worth of work in a 2-3 days and then another week's worth of work in the last 2-3 days. And I just can't continue that pace, especially if something like this happens and then it drops. Now you're like 2 months behind. You're like, I'm never going to be able to catch back up with that. So
Yeah.
things got to
All that to
change.
say, there's a lot of power in partnering.
Yes, yes,
Um,
yes.
we are trying to figure out ways to help people in our community, our Facebook group, grow and help each other and build the trust and build, some sense of community here. Again, that's what makes me and Steven able to work and have actual lives. Even though it seems like we work all day long, but we do a lot of stuff outside of work too. But it's just because we have a partnership. When I ask Steven to do something, I know it's going to get done. If I ask him at 1 a.m, he usually has it to me by like 10 a.m. So we have a really strong trust, not only just because we're brothers, like we also had to build up, our business trust as well. Like if he tells me to do something, not just because he's my older brother, like, am I going to do it? But because, I want to help his business out and he's helped my business out. So I want to be able to do that. Yeah, so the small group feel we're trying not to grow too fast. We still do not like deny a lot of people to get into this group.
Rejected. Everybody get that
Yeah.
rejected card now. That rejected hand comes down hard now.
So we definitely want your guys' ideas for that too. Like if you have ideas for how we can do things. Something that was suggested to us, and that I kind of experienced with Chris Green, was a like group hangout call. It wasn't just like a merch specific time. It was just kind of a time that a bunch of people in the merch community got together. I was lucky enough to actually be on the call with them, like video talk with them. And that was really cool environment just to talk about. I mean, we just talked about everything like drones and just random stuff, but it really built that sense of community. I haven't talked with a lot of those guys before, so just to get on a call, feel way more comfortable reaching out to them and talking to them, and even have that people reach out to me, that was awesome. So we're going to try and do that this Friday. Again, we're going to stick with our patented 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just because that works for us. Yeah, about.
Yeah, the old bite close.
Yeah. So we don't quite know how that's going to turn out, but our idea is to have an open link for Zoom, and just as many people that can jump on there are going to be able to jump on there and talk to Stephen. It's going to be run by Stephen because I'm going to be on the road. I'm hopefully going to find a place with internet, and that's quiet enough that I can like have 2 hours or however long that call goes for to talk with you guys. But instead of just banking on me trying to find that, Stephen's going to be the one hosting that. So we'll post a link in the group Friday night, probably around like 7:30, 7:50-ish. And then you guys can jump on and just talk with Stephen and whoever's in there. Like if you have merch questions, please bring them. If you have questions about private label, like whatever you guys want to talk about, we just want to have a time when you guys are there talking to us. We've done a few coaching calls and like, oh, it feels like we're talking to celebrities. Like, no. Like that's not the feel that we want to give off at all. We definitely want you guys to feel comfortable reaching out to us, talking to us. We do have a lot going on, so if we don't get right back to you, like you guys have been extremely understanding, especially with Stephen being gone for the last like 2 weeks. So we are not too worried about that, but we just want to create that environment, create a place where you guys can feel comfortable to talk to us, and kind of a round table discussion, just whatever the discussion's talking about, just so you guys can feel comfortable. I think I've said that enough, but that's
You know
the
what I
idea.
just realized? What does it say down here that my name is? Does it say Nathaniel?
Yeah, it says Nate Hibbert.
Okay. I was just thinking as I was watching this, some people did message me when I was out of town, and they were asking me questions. But I don't know how you direct message somebody and it still says my name. I'm not
I
sure.
mean, we
They
do
direct
look
messaged me
very
and then,
similar.
yeah, they were asking me questions. They were like, oh, Steven said this about you and I want to talk to Nate. But I think they probably just saw the picture and just sent it. I'm not sure. But I just thought it was funny. I was like, no, you have to talk to my brother, Nathaniel. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I thought it was, but I think it's probably this. So I need to figure that out.
Yeah. Regardless
Something
of
offhanded.
that.
Sorry. I just
Yeah.
it flashed back to like, oh, I think I just figured something out. I think I got it. Because even when we were doing it before, when our names weren't on there, and people were like, oh, which one is which one?
Yeah.
I need to do a better job at. We do look too similar. I think I might have to shave this back off.
Yeah, mine's not going anywhere. So yeah, Friday night we're gonna try and do that call, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys are interested, we have a list of like 2 or 3 people. We mentioned this idea like very briefly before. So there's a list that we got signed up that we'll make sure that we message them to let them know what's going on in the link. If things go badly this Friday and there's just like too many people and it's too noisy and we can't figure things out, we're going to do like a sign up list like that before. So it's like the first 10 people to do X, Y, or Z. You'll get into the call and be able to talk with us. Yes, I have that.
And I guess too, like, even if you don't want to jump on the call and have your video or your audio, we're going to attempt to still post it on Facebook the same way it is right now. That even if you want to watch the call but you don't want to participate in it, we'll do it like
or
that.
if you can't make it or whatever, we're still going to have the call, recorded on Facebook so you guys can see what we're talking about. But again, we just want to have that open time where we can talk. Again, to keep that small community feel, to keep it so we're not like celebrities that you guys can't talk to. Like our whole goal for having this group was to partner with more people. We've already been able to partner with a good number of you guys, but it's probably like 10%. Have you even reached out to us? So we want to increase those numbers. Like that's what we're really concerned about. That's what we want, is to actually talk to everyone in this group. We screen you guys to get in, and we kind of know where you're at with your businesses. Like you're people that we could see working with. So don't feel like you can't reach out to us. And again, just another way to kind of break that barrier down is to have that hangout time. So hopefully that's been kind of killed, but you guys understand what we're trying to do with that call. And our typical fashion is like, we haven't done this stuff before. So if it goes badly or, if it's kind of overwhelming the amount of people we get in there, then we'll figure it out, as we always do. But if you're interested in that, make sure that you're there Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Steven's going to be hosting it. All right. So to jump back a few days, on Wednesday this week, we're going to be talking about split testing. That's something that we've said kind of all throughout our videos that we haven't fully explained, mostly because we didn't know how to explain it ourselves. But I think we even said that like from the Trello board and all the trainings that we've done, we've said split testing.
Split test, yeah.
Yeah, and that's because we define it in a pretty big, like, there's a lot of ways that we use split testing. So I'm not even going to attempt to describe what split testing is to us today. But on Wednesday, we're going to do a video completely dedicated to that. It'll probably be 10, 15 minutes long. But if you watch that, then that will give you an idea of what split testing is, how we're using it, and kind of when we say it, hopefully give you guys an idea of what we're talking about. Because we know that's kind of like a words that we understand that not the whole community understands. Hopefully we can clear that up. And that's what we're talking about. Like, there's just a few more things that we want to clarify, build everyone's base really strong before we start doing kind of the crazier stuff of partnering and using merch to help out with private label and all that other stuff that we kind of have planned for future.
I mean, we did touch on it too when we were doing the nonprofit stuff. We're like, that was hopefully a taste of what to come. So if anybody was in here when we were testing that and kind of going through it, that's essentially what we're trying to do more of in this group.
Definitely. And more stuff like that. Like, I've really enjoyed that nonprofit stuff because it's like what I'm doing currently. That was a lot of fun to put together and talk about. But I think we've kind of beat this down, but so everyone has that base, then we can start building off of that. So that's what's going on this week. So we have the class Tuesday night. We've got the Wednesday split tested. It's probably going to be a recorded video, and then the Friday hangout. So 3 more pieces of content coming at you this week. And then looking forward past that, we're going to touch on May because that's kind of where our sights are already for this group. Because like we said, the next 2 weeks we're really focused on Joy's event and wrapping up other business ventures that we have going on. So the next over-the-shoulder call, because we've had a lot of demand for that, and the last one went so well. We were really happy with that. Everyone in there gave us a ton of really good feedback and wrote us we got pages of feedback of stuff that you guys wanted us to do differently and things that you suggested. So we're going to take all of that in and kind of workshop out how we want the next one to look. But the next over-the-shoulder call is going to be May 3rd, again, probably at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are interested at all for the over-the-shoulder call, which is it is you just looking over Steven's shoulder as he's doing research and being able to ask whatever questions you guys have about whatever he's currently looking at. I think there's a ton of value there. I even learned stuff on the call because I haven't been watching Steven's system. Would you call it process? I haven't been watching his process as closely as I used to since we're not in the same room.
And it changes a lot depending on if the tool is working, what Amazon is doing. It's almost frustrating at times, but I don't know, something weird about I just enjoy that discovering how this thing is supposed to work to be able to get my stuff placed where I want it. I almost feel like a rebel sometimes when you're using all the systems and then seeing what the API is going to pull back, and I don't know.
Yeah, so that over-the-shoulder call, which is just Steven doing research. I talk about art as long as Steven will let me, but it's really run by him.
Not long.
Yeah. That call is going to be May 3rd. We already have a list started for that. I believe it's going to be 25 people. There's no link to buy that quite yet because we want to make 100% sure that we can do it on that date before we send it out or make it official with the Gumroad posting and everything. But if you are at all interested in that, let us know by direct messaging me, Nate Hibbert, and I'll add you guys to the list. Like I said, there is already a list started, but it's not 25 people, so there's definitely slots still left on that. So definitely let me know for that. So that's done. And then also starting up in May, we talked about this probably at the beginning of this month. We talked about doing the coaching calls, which we were all excited to talk to a bunch of people. And we're like, oh, this is going to be great. We're going to meet people in the community. And then Steven had to go out of town for 2 weeks. And then this last week has been it hasn't even been a week that you've been back. We've just gotten so much stuff done. And it's just been super hectic. And the next 2 weeks are going to be super hectic. So we're going to start that in May. We've got a list of people that I need to reach out to and see what times in May work for those people. But if you are interested in coaching, we're actually going to start doing that in May. So if you'd like to talk to us for an hour or two, it's $100 an hour. It's whatever you want it to be. If you want it to be an account health check where Steven's looking at your listings and helping you optimize them, if you want to talk about art and just have me over your shoulder, or even me screen share what I'm doing in Photoshop, just however we can help you directly, we want to do that. Just both of us talking to you at one time. We kind of feel like we can cover basically everything, maybe trademarks like our 1 week.
Not everything.
But as far as like data and understanding landing zones and looking for niches, or art and making things that stick out, or boilerplate stuff, or plug and play designs, all kinds of different ideas for that. We think there's a lot of value in just being able to talk with all the experience we've had over the last like year and almost a half of just focusing on merch. So definitely personal message me if you're interested in coaching. We're really excited about that. We've done a few coaching calls so far and they've gone really good. So we want to continue to do that, but we have to wait until May so we're not so overwhelmed. But yeah, that's all I have on my notes. There's a few questions that were posted in the live event that I'm going to answer. But if you guys have any questions right now for us live about merch or whatever you guys want to talk about, we're going to be on for a few more minutes here. So definitely start posting those questions now. And
I guess go back to why we're trying to do we're trying to schedule this thing back out to how we feel like we had it originally. The Merch Monday calls were a lot tighter. There was our upcomings than what we had going on. And we want to switch. We like to do the interviews, but we don't want it to take up the Merch Monday slot. So Friday is going to be another day that we have those interviews coming on. And there are people in the group that we have worked with and done things with where we're like, it would be awesome if you could come on and talk about that. And they go, oh, we don't want to do a half an hour. We'd like to come on and just ask us a few questions and maybe 5-10 minutes. So to be able to do that Friday, to have those people on, talk about what we have going on and what they have going on, and then multiple people can do that. So we didn't want to take up the Merch Monday slot, so that's why we added Friday. And then the Wednesday videos, we like those to be recorded. We did a live one, and it was fun and enjoyable, but if we keep doing stuff like that, it's going to take too much additional time, and I think we're going to kill the group if we continuously put out hour-long content. That's not like a digestible thing. So we wanted to do something for the teaching. That's just here's a 5-minute hitter. I got the information, I get it. Okay, if I want to learn more, I can hang out Friday or ask a question here. That's what those videos are for. So again, I think Nathaniel keeps saying it too. If you guys have any suggestions or anything that you think would be cool for us to do, put them in here. I want to be able to do AMS ads. I want to be able to do all that stuff. I just apologize. I have not had the time to even sleep for more than a few hours. So I definitely want to do all that. The units that we have in the groups, we have cool ideas for that. We just have not been able to utilize that. And I'm not quite sure why I'm not getting any Facebook updates or from the group. But if you have questions for me, tag me. I really don't know what's going on with Facebook, why I can't see that stuff. And even when I check in there, I scroll for the first few messages and I go, oh, I've seen these already. And I'm not scrolling all the way down because Nathaniel will be like, oh, check out this one. I go, well, where is it? I can't find it. And then because this community is action takers that ask a lot of questions, so I love that. But it's hard for me to keep track of everything. So if you have questions for me, please tag me because I'm not getting pretty much any Facebook notifications. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, and you do that just by typing out Steven's name, and then a little drop down should come out. That will make sure that we see the questions. I'm the same way. I try to check the group as much as I can, 2 or 3 times a day. But today, I don't think I checked it at all. So we just miss stuff. Facebook doesn't notify us anymore when people are posting just because I think it's happening so frequently, which again, we love. That's what we want. That's what we strive for, to have people using this group as a way to let out frustration or talk about what's going on or what you're preparing for. We love seeing that stuff, but we just don't get notifications. So if you guys have questions.
Thank you for everybody in the group that answers those questions, because like I said, I was gone for 2 weeks, and then seeing all the people that have answered that's not us in there, that we agree with them, and maybe we should do some kind of like, yes, we agree or whatever, but there's a ton of extremely wise people in this group that have great information. So don't feel like the only information needs to come from us. That's kind of, again, why we're fostering this group, to kind of bring everybody up to the next level.
Yeah,
a little
for
Freudian
sure.
right there. I need to sleep. That's really what it is. I would have to say, with everything going on, having this group made things easier, and seeing how this group is coming together, and just, it was a figment of our imagination, like not that long ago, 2 months ago, and now it's coming into like past our wildest dreams. So we do really appreciate everybody in here. That's why we're trying to do as much as we can to help everybody in here, because we truly do love helping people. And the problem with helping a lot of people is that there's not a lot of action takers in just everything that we're trying to do. And that is the most frustrating thing to me. When I spend all this time, I pour into these people, I try to help them, and then it's like they take no action. I just like, enraging.
It hurts.
I don't know.
It definitely hurts.
So thank you for everybody being in here. That's an amazing feeling. We appreciate it. So thank you.
Yeah, stuff like that always puts
I
a smile.
appreciate it.
Stuff like that always puts a smile on my face. Like, even like Steven was saying, like when we see people answering other people's questions and like giving good advice, we're like, oh yeah, like that's that's some good advice, I think. Like, that always puts a smile on our face. I try to like everything that I see, just to let you guys know that I am looking at as much as I can in the group. But yeah, we really, really appreciate everyone in here who's been an action taker, and hopefully you guys have been finding success, which we know you have, because you send us screenshots like, hey, we got tiered up, or hey, you know, we found this landing zone and put a shirt there and it's selling like crazy now. Like, we absolutely love seeing that stuff.
I guess I was going to ask you about that. Should I be asking those people that send that stuff to me to put it in the group? Because I kind of feel weird about that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's cool that people want to put it in the group. If you want to, like, feel free. We're not trying to tell you not to. But if you just feel comfortable sharing it with us, like, I don't want to, you know, twist anyone's arm.
That's kind of how I felt. Like, I was like, I kind of feel weird even to say, like, oh, you should put that in the group.
The only reason that we want it in the group is just so people get like inspired to try some of this stuff for themselves.
Yes. Not bragging, just look what.
Yeah, a lot of our content is for free, so it's not like we're like, you know, putting stuff behind a paid wall and like, hey, look, this is really working. Pay $500 to figure out how we're doing landing zones. Like, that's not our MO. So we just want
we're after a much bigger picture. We understand the power of relationships. We understand merch is a thing right now, but in 5, 10, 15 years, who knows what it looks like. But the relationships that we build now, even at the conference that I went to a few years ago, that's the whole reason I'm going to a speaking engagement, is because I met somebody there, we started talking, and we built a relationship. So we fully understand the power of that. Stuff that you would never dream of is right there in front of you. People that are doing crazy things are like, do you want to be a part of this? They're like, oh, yeah, of course. Of course I want to be a part of that. That's part of the reason why we have too much going on, but just crazy opportunities. I feel like we got to take advantage of those things.
Yeah, that's why we're just so excited about the future of what's going on. And like Steven said, we're not super concerned about. I don't know where I was going with that thought. I'm so tired.
The right now. We're not concerned about the right now. We're about the future.
Right, exactly. We're worried about not worried about, but we're excited about the future.
Yeah, we're focusing.
We want to do as much as we can now to build relationships with you guys. Like, if you're watching this, we want to build a relationship with you. So in 5, 10 years, we can, you know, hey, we've been working together for like 10 years. We've done all this really cool stuff. Here's opportunities that we can do even in the future from that. So that is awesome. So that's the joy of to answer that question. And then the other question that was posted in the actual event page is what's going on with copyright, the pixel theft, which is not cool. Amazon is aware of it. They talk about it. They are as on top of it as possible. You have to understand, like, the amount of shirts that are getting uploaded. It's very hard to keep track of, okay, is this an exact pixel per pixel? I'm sure they have some crazy algorithm that's looking at all that stuff. But it's not perfect. It is still run, part of it is still run by humans. So if you're seeing that your shirts are getting stolen pixel by pixel, you can feel free to email them. They're pretty aggressive about that kind of stuff. So if you say, hey, my shirt was, you know, stolen and I have proof that mine was up first, from what I've heard, they're pretty aggressive about taking that stuff down. I don't spend my time looking for people stealing my art. I've seen my art all over the place, even when I do see it on other print-on-demand Services, I don't go after those people. It's not worth my time right now because of at the speed that we move forward. Like I know I can get 10 designs done and uploaded by the time that I even send the email to start that process. I haven't done the process, but I know it can be time consuming. It can come to like actually getting lawyers and all that stuff. I'm not interested in any of that. I'm more interested in just getting more original ideas up and out. I know my system works. I know my art team is fantastic. So I don't really worry too much about the pixel by pixel copycats. It does suck, but again, the base that we're trying to show you guys to build, if you understand that, and then what we're going to teach you with partnering, like no one can steal what we're doing with partnering. No one can steal the traffic that we're driving. There's so much more exciting stuff.
Yeah, like Mike was in here talking about it. Like that's the kind of stuff that we hopefully be teaching you. Like you can't even find his shirts unless you have the direct link.
Right.
So that this stuff is not too much of a problem for us. But again, if you're an artist and you're spending hours to create that shirt, then stuff like that is definitely for you. If you're trying to build a brand and it's tied to your personal art that you're taking a lot of time on, then do that. But that's not our business model. Our business model is I wouldn't say a turn and burn, but a very fast-paced business.
Yeah. Again, because we're using merch as a tool to do a lot of other stuff. Like if we were just relying on the royalties that we're getting from merch, I'm sure we would take time to double check all that stuff, go after those people. But this is just one part of what we have going on. So EJ, hopefully that helps. Again, that's just how we're operating. I'm sure if you go talk to someone whose only focus is merch, they might feel differently about it. They might even have, here's a system of how to get all these people taken down. So what we're saying is just relating to us.
Us, yes.
And that's with a lot of our advice. We're not saying, this is the golden rule, but this is what we're doing and what we found to be working. So that's where we're at it. I wouldn't say that it's going to be the death of us or, going to. And I've even seen people put up pixel for pixel, like exact matches of art that I have going, and it doesn't slow down my sales so much just because of the way Amazon system works anyways. If you have a shirt that's selling really well, it's going to have that BSR. And that BSR is like what Amazon uses to put it places. So even if people copy exactly what you have going on, they're not going to have as low of a BSR when they post their shirt because it's a copy of yours, so they can't, copy at it when it's not doing well. They're going to copy something that's selling well. But even when it gets copied at a later date, like your stuff should still continue to sell and continue to do. That's where we stand with it. It does suck. It is kind of part of the job. But if you look at all the upsides of selling on merch and print on demand, like that's a very small thing to complain about.
Yeah, I didn't have to sit in traffic like I used to when I was working multiple jobs for hours on end trying to get from one part of town to another. So if it's a person trying to steal a piece of my art, then I can bang out a whole bunch of these.
Yeah,
again, that's how we see it. That's how I see it. It's just a part of whatever you're doing.
Yeah, even with art, like I've always had the mindset that like copying just means that I'm doing something right. So again, that's another way of looking at it. Like if they're copying my stuff, it's probably because they're late to the party and what I'm doing is working. So hopefully that helps. I'm super geeked that class sold out because we sent out that message and it was like 4 people, awesome.
That's amazing.
So to have that sign out and or sell out in like whatever 2 minutes, that's fantastic. We're super excited about that.
And the bigger thing was to me all the positive feedback we got from the over the shoulder. Like that to be completely honest, in the midst of everything that was going on, that was a huge help to me to just see all that stuff. So I was in tears even just reading that stuff. So I don't really normally get emotional. I got emotional on Joy's thing too. Just I think because so much has just been pushing me to the edge as a human being. I'm in like a heightened state of stress. So when I see stuff like that, it does like, I don't know, does a chill up my spine of like, oh, we are actually helping people. So that's like the main purpose of why I'm trying to do everything I'm doing is to truly help people. So when I hear stuff like that or see or read stuff like that, it's just, I cannot thank you guys enough.
Yeah, it is like very overwhelming to have this group and have everyone be super supportive and give us so much good feedback about what we're doing. So we are super thankful to you guys. We want to communicate and work with you guys and partner up as much as possible. We're almost at an hour, and that's kind of our target time for this. Again, just thank you guys to this group so much. It really is just a huge confident boost and inspiration to us to keep moving forward with our businesses. And we want to do the same to provide that value to you guys. help you with your business. So, Stephen, any last words before we call it?
We were just helping people, and then we kind of got a group together of 30 people, and now it's at 600 people. Like, that whole thing is just, I don't know. I can't put into words how amazing that is to me. So I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Love you guys, and we will see you Wednesday or Tuesday night if you're in the class, and Wednesday for everyone else on that recording talking about split testing. All right, guys, thank you so much. If you have any questions for us or want to talk to us, feel free to reach out.